You, what's the word? Now this one, I'm gonna take the same approach I took as y'all see I did the reasons why Kendrick Lamar secretly hates the game. I mean, secretly hates J. Cole. Y'all know what I mean. Now, that got some pretty decent feedback, what I expected. And now this one, I'm gonna tell y'all why I feel like the game secretly hates Kendrick Lamar. Now, obviously that's not factual. Obviously, it's all opinionated with stuff that I came up with, details, research of why I feel like it's a little bit of a, just like the same with the other one. Everything makes sense. But is it true? Only they will know. But let me tell y'all, so let's take it back. When the game first got on the scene, the West Coast was at a state of dying. You can tell by in his song, West Side Story.
The West Coast fell off, the streets been watching. The West Coast never fell off, I was sleeping Compton.
So the game was brought to revive the West Coast, which the West Coast was dying. That sounds pretty familiar. What we got going on right now. There you go. So we're gonna get to all this. So with that being said, the game had everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent helped him with his hooks. He had everything, the talent, skill set. Now, one thing you can say about the game, you can call him weird, say he corny, say he this, and that, but you're not gonna sit there and say that Jayceon Taylor cannot rap. He can rap with the best of them. Very underrated MC, but I think he might be the reason why he's underrated, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. So, as that went on with the game, with his career, all this is going on. First album, y'all know what he did, 5 times platinum, still to this day. So, the game did what he did with the documentary. His other albums followed. Everything, boom, he doing the numbers, but hip-hop, rap is business. So, if people can't make money with you, obviously you're useless. It's like a star player with all the talent, but he's always hurt, never on the floor. What good is he? That was pretty much the game because he was beefing with everybody. So it was stopping their money. Now I'm gonna give y'all 3 reasons why I feel like the game secretly hates Kendrick Lamar. And I'm gonna put a little depth onto it. So with that, now this is something else. The game, you know what I'm saying? Labels, all this stuff didn't want to mess with him because he was beefing Dr. Dre, et cetera, et cetera. Albums started falling off. He started beefing with guys like Jay-Z, this, and that, which is something you don't do. You don't, you know what I'm saying, go at these top dogs when you still trying to find your lane, because then the people over you not going to want to really work with you because you stopping their money. So going at these respected artists. So that's the game. His style was big, going at people, this, and that. Kendrick Lamar, he stays out the limelight. He had the control verse, but that wasn't really dissing. That was friendly spar. Nobody really took it serious but Drake, or took it personal but Drake. So y'all know how that went, and they went back and forth, subliminals for years, but that was really about it. Kendrick Lamar never really got into no controversy, and they finally, till today, just had their beef. So Kendrick Lamar was the opposite. He came in, was really out the industry, didn't really mess with it. You know what I'm saying? He goes on his hiatus, he leave or whatever. He goes about business. He's got the ultimate, what you would look for in an MC, West Coast especially. So when you look at his persona, that's what they're looking for. They can market you, this, and that. You see he's getting the Grammys every year. All he gotta do is open his mouth. I ain't trying to be funny right now, but y'all get it. So that's the type of guy you want for your brand and at these shows and this, that, and the third. So, with that said, my bad, something popped up, got me saying going. With that said, for Kendrick Lamar, that was his persona. Now you ask, how did Kendrick Lamar get here? How did the game get there, which was below? This is the first time I heard Kendrick Lamar on this song right here.
Like Brock in his prime, thug life is now on radar. Till a federal come through a radars. Reminiscing when the LA Raiders was in my home. Snapback fitted on my uncle's dome, and I don't condone dick riding. I'm addicted to West Side. Living in a city where the skinny niggas die in the semi.
Now you notice that's a game track. First time I heard Nipsey Hussle was a game track. First I heard Game in an interview talking about my boy Nipsey, he's this, he's me, Cube, Snoop, Dre, Pac, all in one. And I'm like, who are you talking about? Then later on, listen to the Game mixtapes. I was a heavy Game fan. He's my favorite diss artist of all time. Was my favorite rapper at one point. Started doing that weird stuff on Instagram. I had to unfollow him. So yeah, he do be on some weird, but MC. So as I peeped that, I'm like, damn, okay. So I'm listening, damn, who is this guy? It's Kendrick Lamar. Years down the line, you hearing songs like Swimming Pool. You're not really putting two and two together. That's the same artist, but you know, vibing to the music. And you're like, oh, damn, that's the dude from... So when the Game say these things, I help Kendrick, Nipsey, and all these guys get on. He's not lying. He did help them. He did help them in their career. Now, when you do that, you kind of reminding people, like when Soulja Boy say all this stuff, we like, man, whatever, but Soulja be speaking facts. Now, when you look at all this stuff, you look at it as, okay, just remember, it's a way that you could remind people, but it's also a way to let people know, like, hey, look, just remember, if it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Some could take it either way when that's going on. So that goes to one of my reasons right there, why the Game constantly has to remind people, because you see the growth in Kendrick Lamar, so he has to remind you, well, look, I did this, I did that. But like I said, the Game could have been that, but I think with his beefing, the Game's influence is heavy. Rappers wasn't waving red flags, Chris Brown and all of them, until the Game came out. So his influence was super heavy. He made it cool to be a Pyru in the rap game. All these guys, Soulja Boy, all these guys you see doing it, YG, all of them. So he definitely paved the way for the New West, the YGs, the Kendricks, the Nipseys. So that's not a lie at all. But with that going on, it's like for Kendrick Lamar, basically like, is he letting them know, hey, look, I did this, I showed you this. So if you notice in his older songs, he was praising Kendrick. You would see him with him. He was saying, the day I go out from the West, this is Kendrick's town. Then he stopped saying that. Stop the praise, stop this, and that, the bigger Kendrick Lamar got. So to me, that's reason number one, is Game feels like he doesn't get the credit he deserves for putting them on, which I kind of feel him. Number two, let me give you number two. Look at the Super Bowl. Who was in the Super Bowl?
We started moving locations. He started seeing homies come out with sticks to go clear the next block. He jumped in his Escalade and ran. We had to go send to chase him down to bring him back. So what are y'all talking about? This super tough ass y'all talking about with Drake. I'm confused.
Drake is not tough.
50 Cent, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Kendrick Lamar. Now the Game went on a rant. He dissed these guys. He dissed Eminem. He dissed 50 Cent. Took shots at Dre constantly, saying Kanye West did more for him in that short time period, let me just say that, than Dre ever did. So that was his way of, Game's way of getting at all of them. Now, you have to ask, well, I said personally, well, you know what, the West Coast thing without Game, LA Super Bowl, what is it without Game? But I have to think, my boy had to tell me, who was you gonna take off? Obviously Dre, no. 50 Cent? No, he did a lot for Dr. Dre. Two, you take 50 Cent out, Eminem already told you straight up, look, I'm only doing it if 50 comes with. So Eminem paved the way for 50 to go, which is more reason for Game to be mad at Eminem. This is my city, and I can't be on it? All right, bet. So we already dismissed Eminem, dismissed 50 Cent, dismissed Dre. Who's left? Kendrick Lamar. West Coast artist. Everything in Kendrick Lamar, Game seen in himself that he could have been getting this praise and all that, because you're not gonna sit there and tell me, talent-wise, skill-wise, Kendrick Lamar is not, if you feel like he's a better rapper or whatever, it's not by much at all. Game is spitting with the best of them, hands down. They literally right there, you could even say Game is over. when it comes to just skill, lyrical ability. So with that said, now I know all y'all gonna be, oh no, in the comments, and that's cool. But the point is, that's how the game feels. But he can't directly go at Kendrick Lamar, which I'm gonna touch on the next one too. On my next point, why he can't directly go at Kendrick Lamar. This is my third reason. And this is the main reason why I believe it is a little disdain. Y'all remember when the Game and Drake dropped the song 100, right? Now the rumors was, which we all heard it, the subliminals Drake was throwing at Kendrick Lamar in the song in his hood in Compton. Now Wack 100 got on the show and said it was rumored that Drake was running on the scene. He thought people was going to get at him.
We started moving locations. He started seeing homies come out with sticks to go clear the next block. He jumped in his Escalade and ran. We had to go send to chase him down and bring him back. So what are y'all talking about? This super tough ass y'all talking about with Drake. I'm confused.
Drake is not tough.
This wasn't coming from nowhere. When you listen to the Game's lyrics, you will hear him saying these trying to set you up. And that was about Diddy and them because of the scrap they had. Now, how does that play in a part with Kendrick Lamar? Because Kendrick feels like the Game basically took a side, and as we see right now with this beef going on with Ross and Game, which I'm gonna get back to that, I'm gonna get back to that. But if you notice in Euphoria, Kendrick said,
the melodies, I don't like Drake when he act tough. You gon' make a nigga bring back Puff. Let me see if Chubbs really crashed something. Yeah,
now everybody thinking he just talking about the slap. No. That's true, but it's deeper than that. Allegedly, Drake was supposed to set up to get killed. And Game confirmed this in a Vlad TV interview.
There were like calls, going around LA, and it was like, Drake here, Drake there, who will run up on him. I'm not saying it, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky.
That, yeah, Drake was supposed to be set up to get killed. So Kendrick basically pretty much was him speaking on that and that song, basically him laughing about the situation like, oh yeah, I knew about it. So that all plays a part why Game could have a slight disdain for Kendrick Lamar. As you notice, he's quoted Drake's lyrics when Drake was dissing him. And he's going at Ross. Now, a lot of that could do with the Birdman situation. They past feud and Game cool with Birdman and all of them. He was signed to Rich Gang. But Game, if he wants to, can go at Kendrick Lamar. I assure you the Game wants to. The Game surely wants to go at Kendrick Lamar. But why can't he? Because it will make him look bad. And I'm going to tell you why. They both from the West Coast. Game had this beef with Spider Loke years ago. And they got on Spider Loke about being from the West Coast, but going against the West to side with somebody from the East.
So, deaf like Jermaine talking about the gang bang. What's a West Coast nigga from an East Coast gang? A free 300C energy unit check. Trying to go against the West Coast, you dumb son of a bitch. He was never supposed to go against the West Coast.
So if Game does that, people, the internet never fails. So they're going to instantly go back to that, get on his case about this one. So the Game can't go at Kendrick Lamar. And as you see, he might throw little shades, posting Drake lyrics, and he might say little this, oh, Kendrick wouldn't be who he was without me. Because the only way he can justify himself going at Kendrick, I'm telling you, he wants to go at it with Kendrick. He wants to prove, he just said it time and time again, he can spit better. He wants Kendrick Lamar to diss him so he can have a reason to diss him back. You can tell he's itching for it. He can't go directly and do it because the West is going to look at him crazy. But if Kendrick disses him first or takes a shot, then it's justified why he went back at him. So these are my three main reasons. I could go with more. Why I feel like the Game has a slight disdain for Kendrick Lamar. And he wants to go at it with him because Kendrick has been seen at the top of the West and even the industry to some people. And the Game wants to remind people, look, he can't take me out. I can spit. Just like the Game going at Eminem. So, that's just pretty much my take. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And like, share, subscribe if you're new. And we out.